As the ugly one doomed a northern Canadian lake town, we introduce you to the slave-spooking Snallygaster as our monster of the week. Getting bitten by a wild lizard isn't just a sexual euphemism in Singapore anymore. And we go over all of our YouTube comments for the Olympic mascots and explain why Doc Arts wasn't in the church. Or was he? It's all on Weird Things TV! For this May 24th, 2010 edition of the program, I'm Justin Robert Young, editor of WeirdThings.com. The ugly one has drifted ashore. Ta-da! That was the furor that erupted up in northern Canada after that thing all of a sudden was discovered by two women and their dog. The ugly puss was so startling that when it hit the internet, everybody was trying to guess what it was. Is it a relative of the Montauk monster that was on Long Island? Is it maybe the relative of a rabbit that screwed a raccoon, that screwed a squirrel, that screwed a boar, that screwed another boar, that left its baby in a lake? As it turns out, it's most likely an American mink, which is a fairly harmless animal, but is normally looking a little better than that, because that thing's like mangy and crazy, which is normally what these things are. But this one looks particularly weird and gross and evil. You know, American minks are normally what they take the fur off of to make the pretty coats that the ladies in Mad Men wear. But imagine if you had that, right? Don't you have to just be the meanest old woman on the planet to have that just swaying in your back as you, I don't know, take candy from children and cancel an orphanage's lease or something? That would be the best. Why isn't that just given to the meanest old woman of the year? Like it's an award. We have nominees. I'm so excited. You're on the job in Singapore. You're a construction worker. You know, you're not making all that much and the foreman's really breathing down your balls. The old woman won't cook anything nice, so you got slop in your lunch pail. Good Lord, things couldn't get worse for me, I bet. Ah! Lizard attack. Ah! Ah! Yep, that's when a Komodo dragon comes rambling all up into your sight and bites your hand. What do? Well, you act like a hockey player and punch him in the face 5 times until he drops off and goes to lick his wounds somewhere else. That's a true story and really a startling realization that we need to make our construction sites more lizard-proof. Listen, don't shoot the messenger.
That really hurt!
The Snallygaster, or as it's known, the Snallygaster when you don't say it incorrectly. What do you think when I say that? If you think a 3-eyed, crazy feathered dragon creature that scares slaves, well then, sir, you've already read today's Monday Monster of the Week post. If you're not familiar with the Monster of the Week, Matt Finley, our research writer on WeirdThings.com, takes one urban legend or crazy myth or super monster and profiles it on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. This week's, it's the Snallygaster. We go all in on how the legend was used to keep slaves from running into the forest because, you know, they were slaves and the forest was a better thing for them than staying on the plantation and being slaves. We're going to go into all sorts of stuff, including Ted Roosevelt and moonshiners later in the week. So please read the Snallygaster posts. Now, you don't think I'd forget about our YouTube comments? If you remember, on Friday, we took a look at those creepy creatures. Those are the Olympic mascots for the 2012 games in London, and asked you to describe what they looked like. Our second runner-up is MooCow1452, who says it's a pair of Mighty Apple Sackboy Rangers. Mighty Apple Sackboy Rangers. We're not sure what it means, but we're sure it's hilarious. Clorock1 says they're trying to attract children to do what? I'll let you decide. Maybe they should go introduce themselves to their new neighborhood and get registered on an online database. Pedophile humor? Our big fat winner was Dominic Temple, who said, I've heard they represent the offspring of CCTV cameras and Teletubbies, cuddly fascism, which ironically was our nickname in high school. If you like what you've seen, please subscribe. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it is WeirdThings.com. If you want to follow us on the website, where you can find all these articles, as well as the Monster of the Weeks, that is WeirdThings.com. But until next time, I'm Justin Robert Young. Stay weird. And does that mean that Nikki and Paolo are or are not buried outside the church? Ask yourself that, Darlton.